Hello and welcome to Plastic Shinobis. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Gametoys Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cloud Strife and Hardy Daytona Deluxe Edition. First, let's take a look at the box. It's pretty plain. It says 1/6 scale collectible figure, Roman numeral 7, and it says Cloud X Soldier First Class Gametoys with a picture of the Buster Sword right there. On the side, we just have some little patterns, no pictures. On the back, we have some logos and a warning. Same thing on the other side, just patterns, no pictures. And that's it for the outside of the box. Before we continue, I'd like to explain what the box of the Hardy Daytona looked like. It was literally just a plain brown box that said Gametoys. No pictures, and it was packed in foam with no instructions. And that box is extremely big, and I'm just not going to show that right now. But I will be doing a full, thorough review on the motorcycle in a bit. Let's take a look at what the inside of the box looked like. So this is what it looks like when you take off the top cover. It literally had a foam. This plastic bag was actually over Cloud. And you get this instruction sheet. And it basically shows how to exchange the button on his back for the material looking peg. So you could peg his sword onto his back and make it look like it's just two materia slotted in. And it also shows you how to use the tool to pop in the materia into the materia slots on the Buster Sword and pop them out. And it shows you where to put the flower. On the other side, it shows you that you can actually remove the end cap on the sword, so you could stick the handle through his fist. And it says if you're having difficulty popping on the hand attachments, you can heat the hand up, but it also says not to heat the arm because the arm is TPE and it might warp it. Also on this instruction sheet is showing you that he actually does have ankle articulation despite having fully sculpted boots. And that's pretty cool. Now for accessories. Okay, so you see here a total of 6 pairs of hands that he comes with. But these two only come with the Deluxe Edition. They come with the Hardy Daytona. So in total, with the Deluxe Edition, you come with 8 hands. 2 hands that are equipped on Cloud already, and then 6 here. But the Standard Edition would only come with 6 pairs of hands total. He also comes with these large materia orbs. He has 1 of each color. They're made out of a glass material. They feel very, very high quality. Look at that. Look at that glow. Pretty nice. He also comes with a bunch of smaller materia. These ones can be slotted into his Buster Sword. He comes with 2 of every color of these. Pretty nice. Here's that peg that goes on his back that's made to look like a materia. And here's the tool for inserting and removing the materia from the Buster Sword. He also comes with 2 of my favorite accessories. The flower. Now, if you've played the game, you know the significance of this flower. And he comes with a Sephiroth feather. If you beat the game, you'll know when you see this. pretty nicely sculpted. It doesn't appear to be painted, or maybe I think I see shading. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's shading. There's actually shading. I don't know if you could see that. Right there. And then this one's nicely painted. Nicely sculpted and nicely painted. There we go. He also comes with a set of plastic pinless arms. Pinless elbows, double jointed. Give you a full range of motion. Got ankle articulation too. These arms can do everything that the TPE arms can do, and that's pretty amazing. It's up to you for your preference, whatever arms you want to equip to your Cloud, but I like the seamless look. And this one comes with the cloth bandages too, just like the seamless one. Again, double jointed elbows and pinless. Pretty nice. You can place the flower on Cloud's vest in the same position that Aerith put it in, so you can recreate that look. Cloud comes with a hand that's specifically made for holding the large materia orbs, so you can make it look like he's about to summon Bahamut. And if you want, you can remove this button from Cloud's back and replace it with the materia slot peg. There's two patterns that you gotta line it up with that match up with the peg that the pegs on his back. Press that in securely, and then this is probably a sight a lot of you who played the video game are familiar with as you navigate through Midgar. And it looks exactly like just two materia slotted in. That's pretty cool. So let's take a look at the figure. First off, let's take a better look at his sword. It is beautifully sculpted. It's actually pretty light, but it feels like a very high quality plastic. It has dry brushing all over it, on the edges. And it has indentations like scrapes and dings that the sword has acquired through the years. Nice paint detail for the bolts and the handle wrap. It's even got some rust paint. That looks so cool. But yeah. And like I said earlier, you can actually slot small materia orbs into those materia slots. Like that. It's pretty cool. Before we take a look at the figure, I wanted to show you the stand. It does require some assembly. Basically, you just plug this part into the bottom of the base, and you have to attach the nameplate yourself. But I think I did a pretty good job. Looks spot on. Feels good. Does its job. Now, let's take a look at the figure. Let's get a look at that head sculpt. And in my opinion, this is the most screen accurate Final Fantasy VII Cloud Stripe head sculpt you'll see on any action figure of the remake. This blows away PlayArt's Kai. Just get a good look at that. Get a look at his pauldron. As you can see, it actually is sculpted, fully sculpted, and has a lot of paint detail, including the rust detail that you'll see in the video game on his pauldron. It has all of it. They didn't skimp out. It's even got some dry brushing, some silver on the edges. His vest is real cloth. Nice detail. This is actually a flexible plastic. I thought it was leather or rubber, but I think it's a flexible plastic. His belts are real leather and the buckles are metal. They're actually real. His pants are actual cloth. He does have pockets. His his gauntlet, his wrist bracers are fully painted. And a funny story about this, this is screen accurate. But if you have the PlayArts Kai original remake Cloud from 2015 like I do, or the one that came with the Hardy Daytona with the first class edition, and even version 2 of the PlayArts Kai, the bracer on his left arm is inaccurate on those versions. This one's accurate. I'll show you later. But yeah, again, this is a hard plastic. This one's it's a little bit flexible. His hands are a little flexible. That's pretty nice, so you don't have to worry about breaking the sword handle. They are flexible. And his boots are nicely sculpted and painted. It actually looks like worn out leather. That's pretty cool. He does have back pockets. They don't open up. And he has that button, the back of the strap, back of his head. Let's move on to articulation now. So, his head is on a double ball peg. There's a ball peg in his head and one in the neck, so he has a good range of motion. I mean, you can go 360, but I never got why people did that. Let's see. He has outward shoulder articulation for both arms, and the pauldron actually doesn't hinder his arm movement whatsoever. It moves out of the way just fine. He has full range of motion, exactly the same as the plastic arms, despite this being TPE. And he has rotation at the wrist and upward and downward hinge. And it could be sideways depending on the way you've positioned the hinge. Like if you put it this way and you turn his hand this way, now it's sideways hinge. But since this is a sword holding hand, I prefer up and down. For his legs can go out pretty far. It is a little hindered by the pants, but I'm assuming that he could probably do the full split if it wasn't for the pants. He can move forward this much, again because the pants kind of limits it. Can't go back that much because he actually has a butt sculpted underneath. He does have thigh swivel. He has a double jointed knee. He could actually kick his own butt. He has rotation at the boot. Both of them. He can move downward, can move upward, and he does have ankle rocker, just hidden by the boot. And that's it for articulation. Let's move on to the motorcycle. And here is the Hardy Daytona that comes with the Cloud. It is huge. It is for a 1/6 scale figure, so it's made for 12-inch figures. That's how it looks from front. It's nicely detailed. The wheels even have a shading on them. The light has this pattern like motorcycle lights have. I don't know how well you could see it on camera, but it's awesome. This is the other side, very similar to the other side. And this is the shot. It is very big. It's as far back as I can go. But yeah, that's the back of the motorcycle. Nicely detailed exhaust. This thing's covered in paint detail and shading. The wheels are made out of a, not really rubber, kind of a soft plastic. It does have some articulation. Like, for example, the handlebars can turn, so you can turn the front wheel. These can spin, they can move up and down. And I think they're actually supposed to be positioned like this in the game. And you can even squeeze the brake lever. There's also one feature that I've noticed. There's a few Chinese reviewers that did a review on this set already, because they got it before me, being from China and all. But they didn't notice this feature. And they didn't show it off either. And I only thought to check for this feature because I watched Spartan Urich's review of the first class edition Cloud and Hardy Daytona from PlayArts Kai, and it had this feature. But unlike the PlayArts Kai, this one actually has lights. Boom. This isn't the feature I'm talking about, but I wanted to show you that it actually does have lights. I'll show you the hidden feature later that a lot of people seem to have missed. As you can see, it has a working tail light too. It's very bright. Very bright light. Alright, so the feature I'm talking about is this. There's a hidden speedometer that pops out. And it actually has numbers. It says 299 kilometers an hour. I don't know how well that's coming out on camera. There we go. And it lights up. It lights up. That is so cool. It's a feature they didn't have to include, but they did anyway. Before we get to size comparisons, I forgot to show one bit of articulation that he has. He has what seems like a double ball peg system, one up here and one at the lower waist, so you can move him that far back and that far forward. He actually has a rotation at the wrist, the waist too. Alright, so let's get to some size comparisons. First up, let's compare him to a figure that everybody's been asking about. Keep in mind, I don't have the first class edition of the video game, so I don't have the PlayArts Kai version of the Hardy Daytona and the Cloud that came with it, but I have the same exact Cloud that came with that bundle, which was the first release of the Remake Cloud from 2015. So I'll compare him now. So there he is with the first Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud Strife from PlayArts Kai. And this is the inaccuracy I was talking about earlier. Both this version, the one that came with the Hardy Daytona with the first class edition, and the version 2 Cloud have this screen inaccuracy. This is all wrong. This is not how it looks in the video game. And then why do we have brown here and gray in the middle? This is how it's supposed to look. You see, that is not that. This is screen accurate. That is not. This Cloud, the one that came with the first class edition, and the version 2 Cloud with the updated head sculpt, they all have this same mistake. This is wrong. This is not how it looks in the video game. That is. Here's how he scales with the PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Cloud. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention is on my Remake Cloud, as soon as I got it, I tried to put the sword handle in his hand. It snapped and I had to glue it. So that made, like, turned me off from PlayArts. And then this one has issues too. His hand's loose. You can't seem to get him to stand correctly. It seems like the ratchet joints they have on the ankles don't match up with each other, so it's hard to get him to stand correctly. But yes, that's how he scales with the Gametoys Cloud Strife. Again, there was something I wanted to mention. A lot of people online seem to think PlayArts Kai is 1/6 scale, but it's not. They're 9 to 10 inches. That's not 1/6 scale. 1/6 scale is 12-inch scale figures, 12-inch figures. These are not 12-inch. That's a 12-inch figure. This is not. Here he is next to a 6-inch scale figure. This is the PlayArts Kai Kingdom Hearts Cloud Strife. This is actually a pretty cool figure. I like it. I don't know why the quality went down with PlayArts, but PlayArts seems pretty okay so far, but just based on this figure. I really like this figure. Maybe I'll do a review on that. That's how he looks to a 6-inch figure from a similar franchise. Here he is with an average 6-inch figure. This is a Hasbro Marvel Legends retro carded Spider-Man. That's how he scales with him. Here he is next to one of my favorite figures in my collection. That is the Wei Zhang Black Apple movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. Very similar in size, but obviously not in scale. Because if that Optimus was in scale with this Cloud, his head would be going through the roof of my apartment right now. So, final thoughts on this whole set. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. If you can find it, track it down and get it. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, let me tell you right now, you're not going to find a better representation of Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud. This is as close to perfection as you can get. The quality is good. The painting's good. Its presence is good. It is just quite literally a masterpiece. So, yeah, if you have the means, track this guy down and buy him. I bought mine from Show Z, but last time I checked, it's sold out everywhere. But yeah, it is awesome. It's amazing, and I'm so glad I bought it. I'm so glad I pre-ordered it. And that'll be it for the review. Please like, comment, and share this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm barely starting out, but the more subscribers I get, the more videos I can churn out, and the better equipment I'll be able to afford. Because right now I work full time, so I'm trying to get these video reviews done on my spare time, but it's pretty hard when I work 9-hour days. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time on the next review. Take care.